Hello, AP Psychology students, and welcome to Section 4 of Chapter 9. We're doing learnings of the chapter, but we're looking at operant conditioning in real life. So how rewards, punishments, reinforcers, and all that apply to real life. So operant techniques are used in behavior modification. It's also known as applied behavior analysis. These methods have enormous success looking at the reinforcers, looking at the punishers in terms of behavior modification. Both reinforcement and punishment, though, if they're used too much, have their drawbacks. And so we're kind of going to get into that a little bit. You know, some of the drawbacks of using operant conditioning over the top all the time. Sorry, let's go back because, I mean, that's a really funny meme there. Timeout changes the man. Look at me. I got raisins in my sleeve, yeah. So, the pros and cons of punishment. In the United States, we like punishment. You in the United States is far more likely than any other developed nation to incarcerate its citizens for non-violent crimes. We have the largest prison population in the world, and for a lot of things that aren't violent, and so it's very controversial, especially amongst minorities. They're incarcerated at much higher rates than whites. We still have the death penalty, which is compared to the other industrialized nations, we're an anomaly. Most industrialized, developed nations have gotten rid of the death penalty. We're more in line with developing countries. The picture here, these are Norwegian jails. So when you go to jail in Norway, it kind of looks like a resort. There's no bars, there's no locks. They're actually on islands. The maximum penalty you can get for any crime in Norway is 7 years. When punishment works, when punishment is consistent, when you are punished if you do something wrong every single time, and usually immediately. The problem is people that get punished usually get away with things. And when you get away with something and you're not punished, that's actually a positive reinforcement. So you get the thrill of doing something wrong, you get the satisfaction of that, and your behavior increases. So when you get away with something, behavior is intermittently reinforced, and it becomes more and more resistant to extinction. So for every time a person gets a speeding ticket, they probably got away with it dozens, if not hundreds of times. And so that really reinforces it, and it's really difficult to take away. So when punishment fails, well, you can just think of a lot of parenting and maybe teaching and I don't know, coaching. We've all seen punishment go awry. People often give punishment inappropriately or mindlessly. They lose their minds. They start screaming. They say things they shouldn't do. If they spank their children, they're doing it angrily. Psychologists are kind of divided on spanking and corporal punishment. Should you do it, yes or no? Most psychologists say no. Some say yes, if it's moderate, if it's no emotion. And we'll talk about that a little more. The recipient of the punishment often responds with anxiety, fear, or rage. Being punished makes you upset. You have hostility towards the punisher. Being physically punished in childhood. And this is controversial, I know, because most of us, and if you're watching this, most people were physically punished. It's a risk factor for depression, for aggression, for low self-esteem, and numerous other problems. It actually can stunt the development of your brain. The effectiveness of punishment is often temporary. Once you remove the punishment, kids often go back to doing what they want to do. So it depends on the presence of the punishing person or the circumstances. Oftentimes, kids will behave when mom or dad or the teacher is around, but as soon as they walk out of the room, they go back to doing what they normally do. They know without the person who's going to punish them, you can get away with stuff. Most misbehavior is hard to punish immediately, especially like for bad grades or things like that. Punishment conveys little information besides raw emotion. It doesn't teach children or even adults the correct behavior. So it doesn't teach the correct behavior. An action intended to punish may instead be reinforcing it because it brings attention. Kids act out because they want attention. Hey, mom, get off your phone. Dad, stop playing Xbox. Oh, okay, you're not going to listen to me. I'm going to go do something naughty. I'm going to be annoying so you pay attention to me. And yeah, and it's not the right attention, but at least you notice I'm still here. People, this one's bad for parents. Often mix punishment with rewards. So, you've been a bad kid. Here's your spanking. Mommy loves you very much. And the kid's going, wait a second. I mean, I got a spanking, but then I got told mommy loves you very much and I got a hug. I don't know what to do there. I mean, so it's very confusing to a child, even adults, when you mix those two. Extinction or ignoring the behavior can have better effects on behavior. So if you just ignore it or don't reward or punish it, it usually goes away. And so you should combine it with reinforcing appropriate behaviors. Ignore the behavior. This is what psychologists say. Ignore the behavior you don't like. Don't add fuel to it. Don't punish it. Don't reinforce it. But then reinforce the behaviors you do want to see. So rewards are not perfect either. Rewards do not always work as expected. They are misused. Numerous studies have shown that high self-esteem does not improve academic performance. Just because you believe you're smart, just because you think you're the smartest person in the room, doesn't mean you're going to do well on the test. So we kind of have, this societal thing that's been going on since the 90s where we want to reward effort. We want to give out ribbons for trying. We give out medals to every single soccer team, even though maybe they didn't score a goal the entire year, or maybe they didn't even win a game. But we're going to give them a medal because they played hard. So we reward mediocrity. Sorry, little soapbox here. Stop giving out 10th place ribbons. You know what? If you win, we'll celebrate it. If you lose, losing's not fun. You shouldn't be rewarded for losing. Real self-esteem emerges from effort, from persistence, from gradual acquisition of skills, through grit, through work. Basically, if you put in the work, you have the confidence that, hey, I can do this. That's where true self-esteem is. It's not just praising you and saying you're a good person, you're great. In our language, we love words like that. You're great, you're awesome. No, you're not. Awesome means you're in the presence of God and you're literally awestruck. Doesn't happen very often with people. Okay, stop using those words. The other problem with rewards can backfire. There's extrinsic reinforcers, things from the outside that, like, hey, I'll give you $1 if you do this. They're not inherently related to the activity being reinforced. And so, sometimes to get people motivated, like, hey, if you take a charge in basketball, I'll give you a candy bar. It's just stupid candy bar, but hey, kids like candy. So they'll go out there and they'll, get ran over and fall down and get a call and they get a candy bar. That's not related to the game of basketball. Sorry, it's a basketball example, but that's what I know. So money, prizes, praise, stickers, high five, things like that. Intrinsic reinforcers are the ones that really truly modify your behavior when you like doing something because you just enjoy it. You like succeeding. You like doing well just for the pleasure of doing something well and being excellent. Rewards that are inherently related to the activity being reinforced. You play golf because you like to play golf. Your score maybe is not the best, but you enjoy it. And so that actually motivates people to do better than extrinsic motivators. Or reinforces. They both work. Extrinsic motivators kind of get you interested at the beginning, but then you remove them, and then hopefully if you get hooked, then you're intrinsically reinforced. So there is satisfaction in doing a good job. There's the enjoyment of accomplishment. Extrinsic reinforcers should be used sparingly, and so that the intrinsic pleasure can take off. So you kind of, like I said, get them hooked. By the way, the pictures from the movie Scrooged, where for Christmas, his dad got him 5 pounds of veal, and the kid's like, I don't even know what that is. He's like, that's 5 pounds of veal. That's lovely meat. And the kid's like, I wanted a rocket ship, or I wanted a bicycle. There's a rocket ship right there, dummy. So it leads to being self-actualized. We're getting into humanism right there a little bit. So that's all I got for this one. We got one more section left. If you have any questions, let me know.